Hi everyone, so I'm preparing a trip to Half Price Books. I did an unhaul video and I'm going to show you guys, I have like 4 bags of books that my daughter and I want to try to sell back to Half Price Books. So I showed pretty much all of these books in an unhaul video, or most of them. So I have like 4 like really heavy bags. I have them like in a box right now to bring to my car. And so I have like 4 giant bags, and so we're going to try to sell these books back to Half Price Books. Yeah, and so then I have a list here of like authors that I want to look for, and I want to try to get hardbacks because they're larger, and I enjoy reading hardbacks as I get older because of, larger pages, larger text, all of that. So I want to look for, and thank you guys, some of you gave me some good suggestions when I did some of my videos on like my favorite books of 2023, or like reading more classics. So somebody suggested that they really liked Vonnegut, and it reminded me, so thank you if you're watching, that I want to read him again. So I have Vonnegut on here, Bronte, Austen, Chopin, Plath, Dickens, Pat Conroy, Orwell, Huxley, Francis Hodgson Burnett, Edward Gorey, Coralie Bickford Smith. This is one of my favorite picture book author illustrators. And then this one, I'm not sure I pronounce her name, but it's like Fran Pintera, I'm not sure I pronounce it, but and then Brian Lies, and then Margaret Atwood, and then S.E. Hinton. So yeah, I'm gonna be on the lookout at these. I might do like a little vlog and going to Half Price Books, looking for these. Hi, thanks so much for joining me. So this will be my last haul of 2023, and pretty much everything I have, well, 95% of it will be, well, actually 99% of it will be read in 2024. And so I'm going to start with my items from Half Price Books, and that was one of the biggest hauls I had planned for the beginning of the year. Because I actually had a lot of books to sell back. I think I inserted clips at the beginning of this video, or I should be doing that. And I didn't edit the video yet, but I should be inserting a couple clips and show you guys. I had like 4 bags of books to sell back. I called it an unhaul. I had a video called an unhaul. So if you're interested, if you haven't seen that video, if you're interested in seeing what I sold back. And so out of 4 like tote bags of books, I got $14. I actually thought it was going to be more, but you just never know because it depends on their inventory, the location you go to. And for me to sell things back on my own, like sell things on my own, like on eBay or something like that, it would just take forever, and also I don't have packing materials. Like I used to occasionally sell things on eBay and on Etsy, but I just quit doing it. Yeah, so I just usually sell things back to Half Price Books, and so I got $14, and then I homeschool my daughter. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that, but so I have you get like an educator discount, teachers, homeschool parents, etc. So I got like a 10% discount. So out of all the stuff I bought with my $14 credit and my 10% discount, it was like $30, which I think is really good. So I'm gonna show you guys. So I got this first. I don't know. It says a money saving calendar. So if you spent over either I forgot if it was like 20 or $30, you got this at my local Half Price Books. So basically they have like 10% off coupons. And I told you guys, I already have the educator discount. So I don't believe I would be able to use these, but you might be able to use these if your local Half Price Books has this. And so also it came with this like poster, and it's like a calendar. So basically it came with a calendar, and it's like a poster. And basically I think the theme is like road trip, because they're saying they have it's like Reading USA, and it's poster. Sorry if you can't see the whole thing, but yeah, so I got that. And basically they were saying how many, let's see, did it say on here? So they have like Half Price Books. The first Half Price Books open, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit. The first Half Price Books opened its doors on July 27th, 1972 in Dallas, Texas. And let's see. It began making its way to the Midwest. And then, let's see, by the 90s, Half Price Books locations were all over the country. So 120 stores across 19 states. So if you have one near you and you haven't been, go. It's awesome. You can sell books back and you can buy used books. So yeah, so I got that. I want to show you. Now let me start with my haul. So the first thing is I got Jane Austen, Sense and Sensibility. Now I have not read this Jane Austen. I only read Pride and Prejudice. I do have like a big giant book with all of Jane Austen's novels, but it's so huge. I use a book reader, a book stand. I call it a book reader. It's really a book stand, so I can read at eye level with my neck, so my neck doesn't like hurt. And I don't think it'll fit because I read Pride and Prejudice a long time ago. So I was really like, so Jane Austen was on my list. I made a list. I showed you guys at the beginning with that little clip. I made like a bunch of authors. I put a bunch of authors on that list, and those were like my priority. So I found that one, and then I found Paradise by Toni Morrison. And thank you if you're watching. Someone pointed out to me that this was part of a trilogy. So I read Beloved, and then I also have her second book from the trilogy, which is Jazz, and I haven't read it yet. And then I saw that they had Paradise, which is a really nice hard cover copy for $6, and then I got the discount. So yeah, so I'm really happy to read the trilogy, which I wasn't aware of. So thank you for pointing that out to me. And yeah, so I love Toni Morrison. Oh my gosh, she's like one of my favorite writers. Okay, I was so excited to find Edward Gorey. This was $7, and it's like, let's see. It's my goal in life to collect every single Edward Gorey book I can ever find. And this is, not duplicates, but this is the Blue Aspic by Edward Gorey. And I was really excited to find it because I always check at Half Price Books. These are actually adult books. I don't know why when I first, so he does have some children's books, like picture books, but generally most of his books are made for adults, that they have like dark humor. I actually haven't even read this one yet. So I call them picture books for adults. And they're just phenomenal. I love his black and white pen and ink illustrations. And he has this signature style, and he just sticks with his style in every single book. He also has illustrated for other authors, and I would like to collect those as well. And then this, I was really excited to find. This is Charles Dickens, the illustrated small little picture book version of Oliver Twist. So this was in like the rare and collectible section of Half Price Books. And I love finding little quirky books like this that I've never, I wouldn't probably not see on Amazon because it's vintage. And I know you can get vintage books on Amazon, but a lot of times they show like the newest one in the main picture. So this was copyright in 1968. And so I haven't read it yet. I'm going to wait until 2024. I just read the novel Oliver Twist in 2023, and I'm really excited to see this little illustrated version of it. I'm sorry, did I even say? So it's designed and illustrated by Shirley Kaplan. It's adapted by J.K. Ross and designed and illustrated by Shirley Kaplan. I'm also going to link everything that I can find, and especially all the new things in the description for you. Okay. So the next one is The Awakening and Other Stories by Kate. I think it's Chopin, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. I know the French, I'm not sure if her name is French. I think the way it's pronounced in French is Chopin, but I'm not sure if that's how her name is pronounced, if she's French or what her background is. But I kind of just grabbed this book and I didn't open it. I honestly have a really good history of probably like 99% of all the books I've ever bought at Half Price Books locally. have been in very, very good condition. Like, I don't think I've ever had one with writing in it, highlighting. They're very, very particular, I found, of the books that they accept. Now, this one, I didn't check it out at the store, and then when I got home, I was very disappointed to see that it's filled with writing. So, watch. Like, it has writing, and some of it's like in pencil, so I can, but some of it's in pen. I don't like other people's writing because it distracts me. Highlighting, there's some other, I know I saw a few pages that had a lot of it, but it's pretty throughout the book. Like, so that kind of aggravated me, but it's not like I would go back and return it or anything. I feel like I'm married to it now. Like, I'm stuck with it. It's better than the one I had, which was a teeny tiny little pocket paperback is what they call it. And that one's too small for my book reader. Those little tiny, yeah. So I needed a bigger version. I'll just like deal with the writing, but I was disappointed. It's a little dirty. I need to clean it up. It's not like, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm really excited. So I'll be rereading this. Sorry if I didn't say that. But yeah, I'm going to be rereading The Awakening. Okay. So my next one is by Margaret Atwood. It is Alias Grace. And I did not, of course, this one I never read. And I have about 2 or 3 Margaret Atwood books that I haven't read. And then I have quite a few of her books that I have read on my shelf. So I will dedicate a month in 2024 that I'm going to call my Margaret Atwood month. Now, I don't know how far I'll get. You know, it might have to like expand throughout more than one month, of course. But so this was 460 pages, but yeah. So I really want, it came with a little, it's like a little IKEA. I love when I find people's bookmarks and used books. Like this one looks like a little like, somebody was just using it as a bookmark. It was a little IKEA paper measuring tape thing. But I love finding like quirky old, like weird bookmarks. And then sometimes I find like just a variety of bookmarks and stuff. But anyway, so I do want to read Margaret Atwood quite a bit in 2024. Okay, so I believe that was everything from Half Price Books. Yeah. So because those were all hardbacks, so that's what I got for $30 with like what I told you guys. Actually, it was more than that because I got the discount and everything. But yeah, okay. So I also went to SAVERS thrift store. I'm gonna show you guys some books from there and DVDs. Also ordered a couple new things, and then I have some really cool, interesting things that I think from the library. Okay, so the first thing is from SAVERS things. I got 3 movies. Now, I'm not going to discuss these movies because a lot of people are probably familiar with them because they're like what I would call like classic films, you know, like classic in the sense of like everyone's from like very popular movies. Dirty Dancing. I was really happy to find Dirty Dancing. I love Dirty Dancing. This is Good Will Hunting. I really, really, really love this movie. And then the next is E.T. This was like a collector's edition, and it was like in really good shape. So I was really happy to find that. So yeah, so I got 3 DVDs to add to my collection. And then, so that's the only things I got from SAVERS. Now I got this used from a seller on Amazon. Actually, it's from a Half Price Books location in another state on Amazon. You Belong Here. Written by M.C. Clark, illustrated by Isabel Arsenault. So Isabel Arsenault is one of my favorite illustrators, and I've been wanting to buy this book for years. And I decided to just go ahead and buy it. So I had an Amazon credit for something I returned, and I just was like, let me just get a picture book. So if you guys watched my last video, thank you so much. Also, thank you guys, everyone who subscribed. I would love for you to subscribe if you're not, if you enjoy my videos. I'm really trying to grow my small channel and yeah, get my videos out there. And thank you to everyone who watches, all of that. But I mentioned in my last video that I really want to find and like seek out a lot of like beautiful picture books in 2024. And this is one of my favorites that I've been wanting to add to my collection for years. So I'm so happy. I think once I get a good amount, I'm going to do like a separate video and show my favorite picture books of 2024. Not that they were not published in 2024, but just ones I get or like I find and to discover in 2024. So this one's just really beautiful. I always thought it'd be like a really sweet gift to give to a young reader because it's all about like feeling like you belong and like feeling wanted. And I like it for myself. My daughter is really not really reading picture books anymore. She does sometimes when I bring them home from the library, but I mainly check them out for myself. So this one's like, the stars belong in the deep night sky, and the moon belongs there too. And the winds belong in each place they blow by, and I belong here with you. It's very poetic. The words are very poetic. And then it's matched with the beautiful illustrations of Isabel Arsenault. So the next one is another kind of like little side interest I've developed recently is fairy tales and fairy tale retellings. So this is Hans Christian Andersen's Complete Fairy Tales. I bought this new from Amazon. This was one of like, I decided to like gift myself a book for Christmas. And I usually do that every year, but I really didn't do it this year. And I was like, oh, what should I get? And then I was like, okay, I'm just going to get this because I really wanted to just read this from the beginning, like from the beginning to end and just kind of take it slow. So I might read like a few stories each month in 2024. And I'm really interested in learning more about Hans Christian Andersen, like Grimm's, and there's like other people who adapted fairy tales and came up with like original fairy tales. And I really want to educate myself a little bit more because I notice more and more and more there's a lot of like middle grade fiction, contemporary fiction, and even like picture books that are like adaptations of fairy tales. And I'm not familiar sometimes with the original. So I want to like familiarize myself with the origins of more like old fairy tales or like things that were written a while ago. So then I can have the reference when I read newer work that is like a retelling or adaptation or something like that. So yeah, so I got this. And sorry if I skipped by it, but it has, I don't know if it says, but this is like the table of contents. So it has quite a few. Does it say all of them? Oh, complete. So yeah, so wow, there's quite a few. Life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale. Okay, and it has like, it comes, I love when books come with a little ribbon. So you don't even have to get a bookmark. And it has like the gold foiled edges. So it comes with a ribbon. Yeah. So that's like kind of my little gift to myself, my little end of the year gift. Okay. And my daughter will probably read it too. We share books. So now I checked out. So continuing with the random items, like this is a non-book item, but I think it's cool. So I'm going to show it. I got this for myself from an Etsy seller. This is a vintage cute little brass dish. It says pocket change. There's like a million of these online. Somebody must have mass produced them along, like probably in the 70s or something, like 60s or 70s or something like that. But I had one like this many years ago, and I sold it because I mentioned to you guys I used to have an Etsy shop and I used to sell things on eBay, and I sold it on Etsy and I regretted it. And so that was another little mini gift I have for myself for the end of the year. This is so cute. And I like how this one wasn't perfect. They had some of them that like didn't have any like whatever you want to call it, like metal staining or whatever. And I was like, I know, I like wear. I like things that have like age and character. So I picked this one. And I'm probably not going to actually put change in it. I'm probably going to put like random things. But yeah. So now I have some really beautiful picture books. If you don't like picture books, then you haven't found the right one. No. So if you like picture books, then you're in for a treat because I have some of my favorite picture books from the library. Now, they got these 3 new ones. My local library, they got. So, I've showed these before in a previous video, but this is a Story Orchestra, but I never had these. This is the Story Orchestra Sleeping Beauty, 4 Seasons in One Day, and the Magic Flute. So, I checked out all 3. And I've checked out pretty much every single one. These were another books I had on my list of books to buy, but I just haven't bought yet. I wrote down how to pronounce his name. Yes, I did, because I always butcher it. I've heard his name said so many times, but I wrote it down. It's like Tchaikovsky. Okay, I wrote that down. So I try sometimes. So I really try. Names don't stick in my head, but I really want to say it right. So Tchaikovsky, I'm probably still saying it wrong. I love his music. And this one is the music by him. I'm not going to play every single one, but I'll just play this one. This is a Story Orchestra, Sleeping Beauty, illustrated by Jessica Courtney Tickle. So I love how it has a short little version of, like the classic fairy tale. And then you get to press the music while you're reading it. Yeah, so these are awesome. I have the Nutcracker CD by the same composer, and I really love his music. And I love how in the end it shows you the actual, like, Act 1, like where the origin of the music, Act 1, the spell, Act 2. So these are just awesome. I really, really love them. And this one I'll just show you guys real quick. I'm not going to play the music for everyone, but this is the Story Orchestra, 4 Seasons in One Day. And this, let's see. This is a composer. Vivaldi. See, like, my brain's not connecting it. So I'm just gonna read it. Okay, so this one's really bright. Well, kind of. This one I really wasn't familiar with. He is an Italian composer. Vivaldi. Sorry if I'm Vivaldi. Okay. Yeah. So that's the second one. Beautiful. I think these would make phenomenal gifts. I want one for myself. The Story Orchestra. This is the Magic Flute. So all 3 of these are illustrated by Jessica Courtney Tickle. Yeah. And this one the same. The Magic Flute. Oh, yeah, and this one's Mozart. I really love that whole series. It would just, yeah, I really love it. Okay, so this was a new to me picture book, and then the rest are some favorites that I keep rechecking out, and one day I'm just going to buy them. But this one, I had never read it before. It's The Princess Who Had No Kingdom. I was really impressed with this book. This was like, oh my gosh, I loved it. So this is The Princess Who Had No Kingdom. It's by, let's see. I had trouble reading their name with the font. The way the font is in the front, and this is covering it. It's like, who? So, Ursula Jones is the author, and the illustrator is Sarah Gibb. So that's the author illustrator. Now, I love how the illustrations have that, I forgot what they call it, like die cut shadow puppet style. like if you were to actually have, like, what do you call it? I forgot what it's exactly called. Like the silhouettes. I love this. It has that, like, yeah, the silhouette look. But, okay. So basically, there was a princess who had no kingdom. She had a pony called Pretty and a cart. Every day she would drive her pony and cart far and wide looking for her kingdom. When it rained, she put up a red umbrella to keep herself dry. And everywhere she went, people would call out, "Found your kingdom yet, princess?" And the princess would smile sadly and shake her head. Everybody agreed that even if she didn't have a kingdom, she was a true princess. To start with, she looked like a princess, and apart from that, wasn't she a princess? So she carries all these objects in her little cart, and she like delivers them to people because it's objects that can't fit in the regular mail. I think it's worded like that. So it's interesting what she does. And she's looking, you know, it's like a traditional fairy tale like style, but it has like a really nice like sweet ending, and I just love it. I love the illustrations. They're really pretty. So I'm not gonna say the ending, but it really did. Like I would buy this. I really would. And like, I didn't say those words very often in 2023 this year for picture books. Like as far as like I would recheck it out, I would buy it. I really struggled with finding a lot of really great picture books, and this I really love it. I really do. Okay, so now I want to show you guys. Like these are some of my favorite picture books that my library owns. Like period. Like I have literally rechecked these out over 3 times each. And they're all on my Amazon like list of books to buy, but I just haven't bought them yet because I always keep my eye out at like thrift stores and things like that. But I do probably want to buy them this like in 2024. This is What Do You Do With a Problem? Now we have What Do You Do With an Idea, written by Kobe Yamada, illustrated by it's like May Bessom or Besom. So my daughter really loves this series, and she likes this series too. But I love it also. These are phenomenal. The illustrations are gorgeous, and it really has a nice message of like literally what do you do with a problem. I don't know how it happened, but one day I had a problem. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. I really didn't like having a problem, but it was there. So it's really kind of motivational and nice. I really enjoy the message of this book, and I think it's really nice for young readers, but I also think adults can appreciate this as well. I really wanted to share these with you because I wanted to check them out one more time for the end of 2023. So this is another one at the top of my list of books that I want to buy. Why Do We Cry? I love books that encourage emotional expression. It's like written by Fran, I'm not sure how to say her name, Pintadera, illustrated by Anna Cinder. So there's a new one. It's like, it's about fear. Why Are We Afraid, I believe it's called. So that one my library doesn't have, and I'm probably going to either request it or just buy it because I'm probably going to love it. And so this one's like, Mario had been quiet all day. His mother sat patiently beside him. Finally, in a small, near whisper, the little boy asked, "Mom, why do we cry?" And I love her explanations to him about all the reasons why a person will and does cry, or would or can cry, or however. And I love how in the end it has some nonfiction educational stuff about tears, and I love it. It's just phenomenal. Like, just they did a really good job on this book, the author and the illustrator. And I really am excited to try the other one. So yes, I checked this out from the library again because I really want to read it again. I wanted to read it again. And this is The Rough Patch. This is another one of my really favorite books about like emotional intelligence. I think I've shared all of these books in previous videos, in some various videos, but I just wanted to share them again. They're that great. The Rough Patch by Brian Lies. So this book is 100% about grief. It's about a fox whose dog dies. And I think it'd be a wonderful book to have at that, if you're going through that time in your life with losing a pet or even losing like a human, because it still correlates to, you know, the same emotions. And so I love it. And it's an author illustrator, Brian Lives. He's like an author illustrator, and the illustrations are very realistic. They're very vivid, very bright and like glossy. And so it's all about, you know, how he handles, you know, grief. A good place won't stay empty for long. Something must grow. My cat has decided to come. I don't know if you can see him. Okay, he stepped on the... Oliver Jeffers, This Moose Belongs to Me. So this is another. Now this one's a little bit more quirky. It's not like emotional or like kind of like the last two, but it's just still just as awesome. It's very quirky. A lot of you guys are probably familiar with this book. It's very, very, very popular. Oliver Jeffers is a very popular illustrator. Author illustrator. And This Moose Belongs to Me is about, like, Wilford owned a moose. He hadn't always owned a moose. The moose came to him a while ago, and he just knew that it was meant to be his. And he puts the tag on it called Marcel. He thought he would call him Marcel. So I don't know if I should like say too much. Maybe I could read the beginning so I won't like think I'm giving it away if you haven't read it. So most of the time Marcel is very obedient, abiding the many rules of how to be a good pet. But imagine his surprise Wilford's surprise when one dark day, while deep in the woods, someone else claims the moose as their own. So I love the lesson. This book, in my opinion, has like a lesson in it, kind of about like perceptions of ownership and like sharing and like, you know, being kind to things that like we don't necessarily have to own everything. Like it's like has all these like deep philosophical undertones to it. Like I love it. I really do. So yeah. So that's my haul for you guys. Look forward. I plan on doing another large haul for my birthday, which my birthday is not until the beginning of March, but I'm going to start slowly collecting books in 2024, and I'm still going to do my monthly reading and things like that. Yeah, so I'm mainly reading Christmas books the month of December, but I'm going to really get back into reading more, adult fiction and random things in January. But for now, thanks everyone who's watched to this point. I truly appreciate your support. Thanks for liking, subscribing, all of that. Have a good end of year, 2023. Thanks for being here with me. Bye.